Nancy Cordes joins us now from our Washington bureau, and also joining us is CBS News senior political editor Steve Chaggaris. Thank you both for being with us. Nancy, I'll start with you. Donald Trump is attacking his competition left and right, yet he is still surging in the polls. Are these tactics what's propelling him forward, you think?
Well, I think so, because what's notable about these new polls is that they were taken after he made those very controversial comments about John McCain, where he questioned his military service and said he was a war hero only because he was captured, and that Trump likes people who weren't captured. Well, a lot of his opponents predicted that that would be the beginning of the end, and that he would begin to see people just flocking away from him in droves. But clearly that has not happened. That turns out to have been wishful thinking. And not only is he leading pretty significantly in New Hampshire in that new poll, you've got it up there right now, leading by 7 points over Jeb Bush, but he's in a statistical tie with Scott Walker in Iowa. Scott Walker, who spent part of his childhood in Iowa, who was the governor of neighboring Wisconsin. Trump is now nipping at his heels there, and that helps to explain why Trump set his sights on Walker over the weekend.
Steve, I want to turn to you and ask you about the first presidential debate, less than 2 weeks away. Only 10 candidates take the stage there. Who does it look like will miss the debate, and who's on the bubble right now?
Well, so right now, there are a few polls which I think are going to be part of the calculation as to who gets in and who doesn't get in. Fox News, which hosts the first debate, has said that they will take the 5 most recent national polls and then figure out who makes the cut. Looking at those polls, at least the first 3 that will probably be in that calculus, it looks like definitely Carly Fiorina, Lindsey Graham, Bobby Jindal, and George Pataki not going to make the cut. There are a couple of others that we're looking at that are on the bubble right now. We're looking at Ohio Governor John Kasich, who just announced last week, former Texas Governor Rick Perry, and former Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum. Likely 2 of those 3 will not be on the stage on August 6th.
I want to look at the Democratic side now, and actually President Obama, earlier today in Ethiopia, the president made some comments about the kind of politics used in the 2016 race and how he doesn't think it's what America deserves. Let's take a listen.
When you look at what's happened with Mr. Trump, when he's made some of the remarks that, for example, challenged the heroism of Mr. McCain, somebody who endured torture and conducted himself with exemplary patriotism. The Republican Party is shocked, and yet that arises out of a culture where those kinds of outrageous attacks have become far too commonplace and get circulated nonstop. The point is, we're creating a culture that is not conducive to good policy or good politics. The American people deserve better. Certainly presidential debates deserve better. In 18 months, I'm turning over the keys. I want to make sure I'm turning over the keys to somebody who is serious about the serious problems that the country faces and the world faces.
I'm curious, what do you both make of that? Nancy, I'll start with you.
Well, I think you're not going to see anything different over the next 10 days than what you've seen over the past week or so with these candidates calling each other names, because they're all trying to find some kind of quick hit to their poll numbers to make sure that they get into the top 10 for that debate. So they're not saying things that they think necessarily will help them get elected in the long run. They're just looking for that quick adrenaline boost, like a company looks for quick profits to show at the end of their quarter. So I think you're going to hear more things like Governor Perry calling Trump a cancer, or Lindsey Graham calling him a jackass, the kinds of things that President Obama is talking about. I mean, look at that array of candidates on your screen. Only 10 of them are going to get into the debate, and it's really going to come down to who over these next 10 days can get that sort of big artificial sugar high, that boost that gets them in.
Steve, your thoughts on that?
It's interesting to hear the president say this. I mean, he's really been dealing with this for almost his entire presidency. I mean, if you think back to the Tea Party and where Congress is and where Washington is right now in terms of gridlock, and I think a lot of people will argue that what he's saying is the reason for things not getting done in Washington. But then you see people like Trump and others in the Republican Party really playing to that crowd and continuing to say these things, and it really riles people up and gets people to support them. So as Nancy said, I don't see where in the short term this is going to stop. They have to draw attention to themselves. They have to get support among a field of 16 Republicans, and this is a way to get a certain slice of the Republican Party to back you, which is to just sort of speak in these over-the-top terms.
All right. Nancy Cordes and Steve Chaggaris, thank you both for your insight.